Hello, my name is Andy and this is a video top 10 tips from andyisyoda on how to make houses just like the one in front of you. If you want to build from plans, that is, and you can make your own plans, and I've got links in the description to videos which give you great tips for drawing your own house plans. Otherwise, I'm going to give you some more links to websites which show you real architect house plans. Have a look at this plan here, for example. It shows side elevations, rear elevations, that's just the front and the rear views and the side views, and it's also showing the house plans. So how do we take these plans and turn it into a Minecraft house? That is what this video is all about. What are the stages 1 to 10 that you can go through? Well, my first top tip, a major tip really, is to look at the garage or any other room which you kind of know the size of. Here's my building team building these plans according to the ones you just saw on screen. And if you look closely at what's happening, they're making quite a few mistakes, and that's okay. Marking the plans out in Minecraft is not simple and takes quite a bit of practice. So be prepared to erase what you've done and just rebuild it quite a few times. My next thing I would like to say is look at the garage. Look at these little 3 cars that fit into it. We kind of know the size of a car, so we know intuitively the size of a garage, and we can try and make sure all the other rooms are in proportion to our garage. So let's get that built first of all. Okay, so let's see how this is put into practice. We've got Cargill over here who's going to help me place some blocks. Now, cars are generally in Minecraft 3 by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Of course, some cars are bigger and you get all sorts of vehicles in Minecraft, but the general family size car in Minecraft, a lot of people will agree, is 3 by 7 roughly. And I think 3 by 7 is a nice size for a car in Minecraft. So if we take that as the size of the car, we can pretty much base the rest of the house on that size. So what I want to do is decide where my garage wall is going to be, my garage door. Now my garage door is going to neatly go across the front of the car. It's going to be 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the garage door, which contains 1 car. So now I need the walls. So what I'm going to do is put a couple of bricks right here and then run this wall along there like that. And that's going to form 1 garage, but in these plans it's a 3-car garage. So I'm going to put 2 blocks here to separate the 2 garages, and then we're going to have that as a single garage, and over here we're going to have a double garage. Now a double garage, instead of using 2 times 5, which would be 10 blocks for a double garage, I find it's better to use 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the wooden blocks here are representing the garage doors. The nether quartz, or in this particular texture pack, is representing the walls, and the yellow is representing the car. Now you can see when we've got 9 bricks here, and we'll just turn the corner here as well with the garage, the cars really fit in nicely. So watch, 1, 2, 3 gap, 1, 2, 3, and Cargill will finish those off for me. Those are 2 more cars in the garage, and they fit really neatly when you've got a double garage with a space of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what we can do is come along here. I'm going to just kind of estimate how big this garage should be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. A little bit of space at the end of the garage there, I think. And that's kind of the size of the garage I want. A little bit of space behind the cars to walk and to move, get your shopping out the boot, and so on. And here he goes, Cargill's going to finish off the garage for me. So that is the garage. From above, we can look at that, and then when we make more rooms, we can keep referring back to the garage and seeing if the room that we do looks proportionally the right size compared to this. This is our standard, our base plate, our garage. Okay, so let's go on to another room. So now that that garage is done, we can start to build the rest of the house and try to keep things in proportion. So I'm going to try and build a dining room, this formal dining room. So I'm going to leave a gap, I think 3, and then 1, 2, 3. And this is a bit of a weird window, sticky out window, kind of a bay window. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that should be fine. And then 1, 2, 3. The reason I've done the window like that is because the walls are actually going to be like that. So this is the foundation layer I'm building with the plans, and this is going to be the actual brick. These are actually going to come up here like that, and then this kind of matches the front of the build a little bit. Something you can do in Minecraft is to make windows look like that, and with whole bits of blocks of glass, and then you can put panes up the side like that. And when that's quite tall and quite high, it actually looks pretty smart. I can just show you that very quickly. So that's going to be my bay window. Now around the side as well, we have to get this wall complete. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's kind of okay, I guess. There is a window here as well on the side. Now I know this is just a planning stage, so let's go back to just the first level. Let's take away that window and put in where this window should be as well. Now on the plans it looks like it's about there, so that's where the window is going to be, but that might store up some problems for us in the future when we start to build the walls, but I'll come back to that in a second. Let me just estimate the size of this wall, kind of comparing the size of this dining room to the garage, the overall shape, looking at the plans, looking at the garage, looking at the dining room, and deciding how many bricks I'm going to be using. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, and I think we'll come along here towards the main entrance of the house, and then a couple of more bricks up there like that. And then we need to decide where the wall's going to come across here to mark the middle of the dining room. I think around about here. And this gap looks like it's about 3 blocks wide in my experience, quite a big gap into the formal dining room. So you walk through quite a big door into this spot. I think this door over here should be 2 wide. 2 wide doors look very luxurious in a nice Minecraft home. So that is what I think the formal dining room should look like. And what you do is you do all your plans, carry on with the whole house, making sure that each room fits in and looks of the right size and shape compared to the garage. Now coming back to this window, butting it right up against this wall here, let me show you what happens in the final house over here, because that does kind of store up problems. Look, having this window here, it's not too bad, it's not an absolute disaster, but I don't think it should be right butted up against that wall. Let me show you how it looks inside. So there's the 2 gap, and there's the 3 gap. Oh, I didn't make it a 3 gap. I think it should be a 3 gap. Someone's furnished that differently, but yeah, 3 gap to come into the formal dining room. This is what it's going to look like eventually. But yeah, that window there, I don't know. Some people can live with it. I don't think I were going to live with it. I think I'm going to move it. / move 1. If I move that across, obviously I can cheat a little bit with my world edit like that. I just think that looks a little bit better from the inside when you're looking at the windows. What do you think? These are considerations. So you have to go through the whole planning process. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better than that. You have to go through the whole planning process, looking at the garages and planning your other rooms accordingly. And let me show you the whole plan layout for this house over here. There we go. So I do apologize for this wall not being in foundations, but you get the idea. So as I plan this out, I keep coming up like this and having a look right down on top of this. So we've got the great room there, we've got the porch right there, we've got the kitchen, laundry and so on, and the dining room, and then over here we've got this nursery stroke study, and then the master bedroom suite over there. And I think that was about the right sort of proportion. So what I'm going to do is give you this picture, which has the whole plans laid out in blocks that you can differentiate from each other. So you'll be able to count these blocks just by using the circles that are on them, and you can get an idea of the size of this house, the size of the rooms, and the proportions, and just learn how to build plans in Minecraft. So that link to this picture will be, in fact, let me just take the screenshot right there. Nailed it. That screenshot will be in the description. So once the plans are done, stage 2 would be to mark in your windows. Now, what you can see in front of you is us marking in the windows in orange wool. And that makes sure that you get your windows exactly in the right spot. Not too far to the left, not too far to the right, not uncentered, but exactly in the right spot. And it makes sure that all the walls are the correct size in proportion to your windows. So yeah, add on some wool. It's going to be exactly where the windows are going to be. For example, if you've got a wall here and you've decided that you need a window that's going to be 2 blocks wide in the middle of this wall, and you don't plan it and you don't mark out your window, look what can happen later on when you try and fit the window into this wall. It's going to be uneven. So if you start to place your windows at the start and decide where they're going to be, you won't make mistakes like this. So either this wall has got to be 1 block shorter, or it's got to be 2 blocks longer to make sure that too wide window fits right in the middle. Or you can make the window a bit bigger as well. So these are the kind of decisions on the size and the placement of your windows that come to light, need to be made if you start to plan it out at the start. So mark in your windows. Okay, so the next stage is flooring. Now, if you've made foundations like this, then you're going to need some steps up into your house, and this level here becomes your floor level. Okay, in your garage, I recommend that you're at street level, so you can drive your car straight in here, boom, 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 make a driveway and come in like that. So that's going to be the floor level there, which means in our garage, to get up into our house, we're going to need some steps to get up into the house. So this could be the house right here, like that. So let me show you on the video how we did it in our house. Okay, so walls. Got to build up these walls. It depends on the style of your house. There's only a certain amount of tips I can give you. I would just stick to a palette of 2 or 3 block types so the house doesn't look too multicolored. Obviously, you're going to put in your windows at this stage. With windows, don't go for too much detail. I think less is more, in my opinion, when it comes to windows. But yeah, I think really, when it comes to the walls of your house, the only tip I would give you when you're starting off building houses, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 high with the walls, and the 6th block is where the ceiling is going to be. So that means that your walls inside are going to be 5 blocks high. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think that gives you a real nice feel when you come into a house. Your furniture can kind of be that sort of height, and if you want a painting on the wall, it sits really nicely right about there. If I go for maybe that height of painting, you can see there's a little gap here and here to sort of frame the painting. You've got your furniture there or there. 5 high walls with 1 extra block on top to contain the ceiling is my recommendation as if you're starting out to build a house. You can go 4, feels a little cramped to me. You can go 6 and 7 for maybe some extremely big scaled houses, or just really fancy walls, or just an enormous room really. But that's kind of breaking my rule a little bit of 5, but it's up to you. It's your creativity. I don't want to stifle creativity. I recommend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high inside. Start off with that and then go ahead, break that rule later on and see what happens, and you might come up with something absolutely amazing. Who knows? And the next stage, stage 5, would be ceilings. So just use white wool or snow if it's not going to be melting. If you're on a creative server, it shouldn't be melting. And yeah, did you see that little graphic there? Just take care of open areas where it says open to below on architectural plans. We've got the great room there. It's a double height room, so watch out for that. So once you put that ceiling in, the next floor needs to be planned out. So pay close attention to the architectural plans and spam it out in some colored wool just to mark in exactly where all the closets are going to go, where all the bathrooms, where all the bedroom walls are going to be. And maybe in the back of your head you're thinking about where the roof is going to slope as well. Stage 7 would be some flooring. So nice couple of easy stages coming up really. We're just banging down some wool, some wood, putting it on top of the snow or the white wool that you used for the ceiling below, and just marking the flooring, choosing some nice colors for the bathrooms and so on. So yeah, flooring complete, stage 7 done. Stage 8 would really be a nice easy stage. Again, making walls which are 6 blocks high, so it's easy to place a ceiling, leaving a 5 block room size inside, or room height, for all the internal walls. Notice I'm not doing any external walls right now. That's all pretty much going to be roofing. So yeah, that's the stage done. Okay, roofs. What tips can I give for roofs? I think identify your primary roofs and your secondary roofs. I think that's a good tip. So if I do /undo, I've already marked this one here. This is with an orange dot on it and marked out of wood. This is the primary roof here. And I think this is primary roof here as well. What do I mean by primary roof? It's the main roof of the house. So that'd be primary there and primary there. So what does that mean for the other roofs? Let me mark these in yellow. The other roofs are secondary roofs. Here, we've got a tiny secondary roof there. And these are the ones that join on. We've actually got like a secondary roof joining onto this secondary roof, which is joining onto this primary roof right here. Around the back here, marked in blue, secondary roof and secondary roof. Where do you start with these roofs? Primary, secondary, what do you do first? I kind of like to start, and I think when we built this, we started with the secondary roofs. So we started, I think, probably with this block right here, and came up to the join right here. And we probably did these secondary roofs to about here in total. So if I just go from there to there and do /replace 2030, that's kind of as far as we got. In fact, if I go a little bit further, let's say over to here, that's kind of what we started with. We did that and just stopped the secondary roof right there, stopped it there, did the same with the other ones as well, and then we came over and built the primary roof. And that made it a lot simpler. So you start off the secondary roofs, then you kind of know where they're going to butt into and join onto the primary roofs. One last tip for roofs, try and be consistent as well. I've got these roofs with one gap in between them, so that's coming up and that's coming up, and there's a gap of 1 like that. You can bring roofs up so they're butted right up against each other, just like that, but I've left that just for the tiny little roofs. That's what they're used for. These ones here look a bit more majestic when you've got that kind of 1 gap in between, just like that. And that's keeping all the roofs the same. All the secondary roofs exactly the same with that 1 gap in between them. Same with the primary roofs as well. They've got that gap right there between them. You don't have to do that, but it just keeps the roofs consistent all over the place. Okay, I'm going to show you a speeded up version of us building the roofs. And that brings us to the end, the last tip, which is this detailing, landscaping, furnishing. And I'm really gonna shut up at this point because I think it's over to you to be creative, to add your bushes in. But hey, if you've enjoyed this style of video and these tips, then be sure to give me some support with that thumbs up button. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for many more houses being built, more tips, more mansions, more fun, more creativity, more architectural tips than you can shake a stick at coming up. So hit that subscribe button and look out for more of that stuff coming your way. Hey, listen, thank you so much for watching. If you want to get to this house, then the details are in the description. I think it's Warp Speed Build 1, and you can come and have a look and wander around this house as well. Thanks for watching. Ciao, ciao. May the blocks be with you.